Welcome back, Dr. Eve in the house. Relationship building. And that's what we're doing right now. We are going to be talking about a few things today. I just want to say thank you to my folks who were on my live yesterday. We had a really heartfelt conversation. And my goal over here is, Father, if you give me one life that I can transform through your word, then my work has been done today. And so let us begin with our Father, who art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day a daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses. Lead us as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, and deliver us from anything that is evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. So, y'all, I had the most beautiful conversation with community yesterday. And for those of you who don't know me, I am Dr. Eve. I am the host for TOLTM, which is Touch One Life, Touch Millions, the podcast, where we transform lives through the Word of God and all of the skills that He gives to one another to help in the kingdom, right? For those of you who don't know, I'm an author, I am a speaker, all the things, right? But I like to be known as a child, one of his children first, okay? So we're talking today, as you can see, we're talking today, and say hello because I wanna be able to acknowledge you. Hey there, Shawayne. Shawayne, good to see you. So I got a little bit of sun in my eyes today, so I'm trying to balance the camera a little bit. But I like the camera because it gives that sun because it gives me good sun kiss, right? So today we're talking about identity, books, relationship building, and growing your business. I come here to work and to have lunch. What y'all having for lunch today? What are y'all having for lunch today? Y'all had coffee. I had coffee. I had coffee today. I still have coffee. Yum, 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 right? And I think I'm going to get me a glass. I need to make, and I think I'm going to do that on camera. I'm going to make me a cup with my podcast on it. I'm going to use my machine and make me a cup with my podcast, Touch One Life, on it. I'm going to make me a hat. And I already have some tees, but I need to make me some sweatshirts and stuff like that because, baby, when we grow in our business, we got to represent, okay? So let's just understand that we have to represent whenever we are on this camera. You should be carrying your brand. So next time y'all see me tomorrow, I'm going to have on a brand something, okay? I'm a hold myself to that because my job is to not only share with you uh, what God says about you and how much He loves you, but my job is also to make sure that you are growing in the area that He wants you to grow in, that God, wants you to grow in, not our will. Y'all want to know how many times I had to do it over? A lot. A lot. But here's the deal. Nothing in my life was wasted. Do you believe that? I'm going to tell you a little story because I believe that we talk about stories over here, right? Because it took me a long time to figure it out. It took me, and I don't want you to waste any time trying to figure it out because um, it will prolong or delay what God has for you. Where's my mouse? Okay, here it is. Yeah, I got 3 cameras, 2 phones, an iPad, 2 phones, and a big desktop. But I cannot see your comments. So I'm trying to get online so I can see your comments as they roll through, because I want to talk with. This is about engagement and relationship building. And for those of you who don't know, I am an educator also, community health and human service education and human services, health and human services, and I teach group processes, and I have incorporated group facilitation as something that I teach to individuals who are looking to build relationships online. So when I say God don't waste nothing, he don't waste nothing. And so we're going to be talking about identity, books, relationship building, and how you can use those things to grow your business. First of all, you have to know who you are, right? In him, right? And identify and stand in your identity. Here's where I see a lot of folks going wrong. And I see it over and over and over again. And no matter how much you try to tell them that baby, you don't ever leave yourself behind, they gonna do it anyway. They can see the millionaires ain't left near stringing them behind. Now let me be clear. The millionaires and the billionaires do not leave themselves behind. They stand in their authority. So let's talk about identity and what that means. That is who God created you to be. Your name, who you are, right? All the things that he blessed you to become on this journey called life. Was it all good? Nope. It absolutely was not. So I can't see any comments yet, so I need to figure that part out because for some reason my iPad set up differently, y'all. Hold on. Let me see if I can get these comments straight. Chat viewing options. Let's live chat. Okay, I can see y'all now. Hey, y'all. Hey, Deidre. Come on in the house. Wait a minute. The sun has got me though. I need to do something different. Let's see if I can turn it around here. Oh wait, I'm still not seeing y'all's. I'm still sun-kissed, but I can't see the comments. Let me get real here. Diedrich, I see you. Okay, I see y'all. When I touch the screen, I can see. Diedrich said he's having lunch, but he making eggs and kielbasa. I know that's right. Listen, I'm trying to have some breakfast too, Dietrich, when I get off of here. Yesterday, my live was 2 hours, but it was so good. And I said, you know what? When you realize that you don't have to wait to do anything, right? Because the most important thing about building anything is building relationships. That is the most important thing that you have to do is build relationships. Yeah, it's some important information. like you more and more. Oh, Matthew, that's so sweet. So, welcome to the call, everyone. Dr. Eve back in the house. I know I had a lot of questions yesterday, and we're gonna begin to talk about that. So, one of the things that I realize is problematic for many who are trying to start something, right? And if you are breathing today, you should be trying to start something. You, if you are breathing today, say thank you, God, first for his mercy, and then start building something. I'm not, I kid you not, that that I don't know how many people that I have talked to in the last 10, 15 years online, because I've been online since 1991, who I've encouraged to start something. Start now. Start small. Grow it. Build relationships. Take a class. Invest in yourself. Do something. because there's going to come a time. Listen, you got to do that work while it is day, because there's night will come when no man can work. Do you understand that? That is biblical. So when I say this, so many people say, oh, I'll do it later. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it then. And what happens is inflation happens. Things begin to happen in the economy that really do affect our ability to sustain. And so the goal here on my channel is to give you and provide you with information that's going to help you to be able to develop a sustainable lifestyle. Something you don't mind getting up to every single day and doing, something that will pay your bills, something that will give you life, something that will give you life, joy, unspeakable joy. And that is what I did for me. And so I'm going to share with you the steps that I took to do that. And part of that is I can't give you all that information today, but what we're going to do is be having some conversations every day. So if you subscribe to this channel and you like what you hear, then we're going to be talking about how to get to that thing, get to that bag, get to designing that future. Even if you're working right now, you need to be preparing now for the real job that you want, right? You need to be preparing for what it is you desire in life, because that's what I had to do. I didn't leave my job without a plan. And let me go back. Why am I saying all this? Let me just say this. Let me just go backwards for a second. You know, I think is it Lyndon Johnson? Who was the father of father of education? Father of education. Whoever started that and told us that we needed to go to work, about knowing who you are. You can read a lot of books, you can listen to a lot of right thoughts, but it doesn't help you come. Hold on, let me see what Matthew is saying. Hold on, because I want to make sure that I'm covering what you're saying, Matthew. You know what, Matthew? For some reason, my hand is in the way. Where is this camera at? Am I sideways? Y'all, am I sideways to y'all, or am I straight up? Am I vertical or horizontal? I'm trying to figure out why my hand is in this camera. Okay, there go the camera. I need to try to figure out where the camera was. All right, so live chat. I need to be able to see this live chat. So Matthew says, about knowing who you are, you can read a lot of books, you can listen to a lot of right thoughts, but it doesn't help you one bit to be yourself. Why doesn't it? You never know who you are until you lose yourself. That's what I had to do. I really had to lose myself and ask for my Father's will. Matthew, you are spot on. And only then will all that information be useful. Exactly. And I know what I'm talking about. I've been there. Oh, don't use that language. Yeah, and so let's talk about that, Matthew, because we all go through this thing called life, right? We all go through this thing called life, and you know, I think it's safe to say that much of what we go through is sometimes our own faults, right? Or either some ancestral thing that was in our family that caused us to be an accursed thing, right? Most of us have been walking in our own will, right? We've been just doing out here willy-nilly. What it's my will. He gave me free will. Let me go do that. But all of our free will has consequences. So you are absolutely right about that, Matthew. And you probably went through some things. Hi, new here. You seem beautiful. What is your streams about? Sustainability, helping you to develop a sustainable life under the Father's will, not your own, because that's until we yield to Him, we get our own nasty desires. We don't get what we get what we want. We get delay. We get delayed because there's already an assignment on your life. And what happens is when we choose our will, we set ourselves up for disappointment. And what that simply means is you are going to be disconnected from the appointment that God has for you, right? Um, so that's important to note, that the things that you've gone through, or are going through, you have to evaluate. Did you make that decision for yourself, or did God make that decision for you? Because the Father that I know, the Father that I serve, when you yield yourself to him and allow his will for your life, he's gonna prune you now, because he's got to get rid of the stuff that you didn't decided to do. He gotta go back and do cleanup. He gotta go prune all this poison. He gotta go prune all the scabs and the stuff that came on your tree trunk. I'm a gardener, so you're gonna hear me apply a lot of the garden to my conversation, because I learn a lot in the garden. Guess that's guess what? That's where he set us first, right? He's scabby scabs, scabby scabs. And if you've ever seen disease, it's so much better to yield yourself to God. And when I did, the delay went away. Like, and one of the things that I had to learn was God called me early. He called me early as a child in the womb. See, Jeremiah 29 says that he knows the thoughts that he has for you, and that's to prosper you and bring you to expected end. If he knew those thoughts for me, then why I want to walk out here and go on my own? Why don't I want to walk in his will? And if he knew me before I was in my mother's womb, then he already had a plan for me. So why I'm trying to create one for myself? All right. So when we out here, we are socialized. Like, here's the thing: we are born to some parents, and those are our primary source of nurturing, right? You hang in there, since you already been through some of the worst times. Now you focus on being yourself, because that's who God wants you to be. Absolutely. Thank you for stepping in these comments. And so, and so since God knew and called me when I was a youngster, I didn't have anyone to nurture what he called me, because they didn't know he called me either, but they should have, because I lived. And the thing about it is, I wasn't supposed to live. 2 pounds, 6 ounces, 1963, when there was no modern medicine, babies died during that time, but I did not. So I know that God called me to a thing, right? But there was no one there to nurture that in me. There was no one there to show me the pathway, except my mom. She loved the Lord, but she didn't know how to nurture that in me as a youngster, except to take me to the church. Every time the door opened, take me to the church, take me to the church. And so it was prophetically prophesied over my life when I was a little girl. But baby, how about I got connected to my social peers, right? I got connected to my secondary peers. And this is where we go wrong. And we must acknowledge, you have to acknowledge um life. You have to acknowledge my mom's tubes were tied when she got pregnant. See? See what I mean? When God's will coming through, that's it, that's all, baby, right? So when I so we talk about our primary source of nurturing, which is our parents. Then there was my secondary source was my peers, right? So here I am in school. Here I am as a child, picking up habits, exposed to this or exposed to that or exposed to the other. And sometimes those things were demonic, lust demons, rejection demons, all the things, any of that stuff that's not of God. It ain't of God, y'all. So let's just be clear that's none of those things are of God. And if they're not of God, they entered your life along the trajectory. It entered your life, right? And so what we do is we weren't taught to understand these things. We're just now realizing how important it is to go back through our lifeline to denounce the things that happen to us, right? And so what happened is now I have been able to reflect on my life. So let me just say that there's primary, there's God, there's your primary, which is your parents, and then there's your secondary, which is your friends and your peer group. And baby, my peer group that I was suspect of anyway, but I had this desire to please people. I also had this desire to want to belong, right? But God had already set me apart. I didn't know that though. I didn't know that. I didn't know he set me apart. I know nothing about that, right? Did I know that he had his hand on my life? Absolutely. And why? Because I used to have visions. And I still have visions. What's happening in the world right now was the vision I had as a child. And if you don't know and you ain't ready, the fire is going to burn this place down. Them glaciers that's melting, that was in the dream. The glaciers, the volcanic and oceanic eruptions from the seas, and the roaring fires from the sky, because the solar is what's going to burn everything. That was the dream that God gave me, that when these things started, I would know. I would know that it was him, because that was the dream he set me on at 9 years old on an ice glacier as still as the ocean. And all I could see was the ice, the melting of the ice and the roaring fires of the sky. I still have that dream. He brought it back to me recently, just kept bringing it back. I was just a little girl. I didn't know how to handle it. I got, God, what you want me to do with that? Like, and so we have to talk to our Father. If you are called, and many of you are, if you are called, you really have to just talk to the Father, because he will break those things down. But I didn't know how to do that. So it wasn't until God put people in my life to nurture, to where I sat down and came home and sat down and began to listen, that my identity started to come forth. You, the guy and demon, also kingdom is within you. Yep, baby, but you better doubt. Them demons come from life. Them demons come from life. And they ain't staying up in here, because I know how to denounce them. I have educated myself. I have sat under the tutelage of individuals who teach the truth, right? And I test everything with the spirit. If it ain't, baby, if it ain't in the Bible, dreaming of fire it does, but I know what it means to me. I know what it means to me, and I know what God told me, right? I know what he showed me, and it's happening right now, okay? He gave me revelation of that because he wanted me to know, right? So that when it began, that what I dreamed about was exactly what he said would come true. And that would be the time that I am called to be a watchman. I am called to pray for others. You got to become one to see one. So it's hella dark. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Matthew, but hopefully I will. I can't really see the comments right now. The glaciers have been melting for a decade. They have. It ain't just started. I know. They've been melting for a long time, and that's why we're in the conditions that we're in. But God set us in the garden in the beginning, and he told us to take care of some things. And so as I began to really study the word of God and really delve into getting clarity about him, and how to actually read the Bible, because I had some delays along the way that weren't addressed, that were not addressed. And so as I came into the knowing of God, I began to learn what I needed to learn, and in the way that I needed to learn it, that I could hear the Father. And so how can we know except we hear? Right. And so I can hear, the secrets are unveiled to me now because I'm able to hear his word. So my identity, your identity is so important. And your first identity is understanding that you were created by God. You were created by God. And so think of it this way. This is what the Father told me to share with every person I encounter for years to come. When the disciples asked Jesus over in Matthew, "Teacher, teach us how to pray." And he at that point said, "Don't be like those vain people yelling in the street and want to be seen and want to da 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 da. Pray ye after this." And he instructed us to pray the Lord's Prayer. That's why I opened it up with the prayer. Because when you pray that prayer, which is a blueprint, it is literally a blueprint for you to engage, for you to ask for all the things and do all the things that you need to do to stay within good grace of your Father. The first thing he says is, "I'm your Father." Our Father. It means that all of us, we, our, us, everybody. Our Father. He identifies you as his child. And he's your dad. Who art in heaven? He is in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. The greatest name of them all. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. Right? So right there, we're asking him for his will. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Meaning, I'm supposed to have heaven on earth. I don't have to wait for that. That if I am his child and I've accepted his will, then I'm supposed to have heaven on earth. And in heaven, there's no depression, there's no anxiety, there's no poverty, there's no none of them things that's going on here in the world. If that is the case, heaven on earth, then he says, "Give me this day our daily bread." Give us this day, because he uses those we, our, and us. We must be clear. Give us this day our daily bread. So we just need some bread for today. Because, y'all, we only got 1,440 minutes in a day. And we got to stay focused. We got to stay focused to unlock the blessings. And whatever word he gives us for the day, we can meditate on that. Our daily bread. Then he says, "Forgive us our trespasses," or our debts, many say. That's us saying, "Forgive us, God." We're asking for forgiveness. But he says there is a condition. There's a condition. As we forgive those who trespass against us. So we got a responsibility there. Are you holding on to bitterness? Are you harboring bad feelings? Are you hating on somebody, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your friend, or the people who hurt you? When I realized that, I was like, whoa, so that's going to hold up my blessings? I forgive, and hard as I can forgive. Because, baby, they ain't thinking about you. Whoever hurt you is not thinking about you. And that's part of the problem that we have. People are harboring unforgiveness. And when you can't forgive, you're going to you're going to hold up every single piece of fruit that's supposed to bloom on your vine, on your branches, because you still holding on to bitterness. You still holding on to what people did. And some of them dead. Think about it. Some of the people that hurt you not in here no more. And you still holding on to it. So he didn't say, you ask for forgiveness, and then you say, as I forgive those who trespass against me. Lead me not into temptation. So we ask it not to be led into drug use, infidelity, lying, whatever sin. Because look, on my call yesterday, we had sin, liars, we had fornicators, we had adulterers, we had, but that's life. But that's life. But deliver us from evil. He going to, exactly. Come on, All Chronicles. Deliver us from those things. He can. We ask him to deliver us from those things. And thieves. She said, and thieves. All the things. Be on the call. And so when we ask God to do those things, right? Deliver us from evil. We want to be delivered. What is evil, y'all? Write it down. If you don't know what evil thing, write every evil thing. Okay, I was 1 and I did this. I was 2 and I did this. I was 3 and I was 4 and I did this. And I was 5 and I did this. I can remember a lot of stuff I did. And when I don't, I say I'm of the belief that if I continue to say, let your light shine, let your light shine on every dark place in my life, he's going to bring it to me. Whatever that is, y'all better go through the timeline. Because let me tell you what God did. When I realized my identity, and now that I know my identity through that prayer, let me finish the prayer. And then I'm going to go on to what he did after that. But deliver us from evil, for thine is what? He let us know. I am the kingdom. I am the power. And I am the glory. Affirming who he is. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. He didn't say tomorrow, yesterday, none of that, okay? It was never about religion. He's a king. He's a king, and he is a king. People make it a religion. It's never been about a religion for folks. To him. For folks make it a religion. It's about kingdom principles. It's about how we're supposed to live. It's about why we were created. It was about how we are to divinely take care of one another. It's about the king. This kingdom that we are the only species of the creator that totally went against what he created us for. And he kept trying to get it right. He kept giving people chances to get it right. And people want to know why there's so much slavery. Why does people die in the Bible? Political warfare. Same thing we're dealing with right now. Political warfare. So let's get back to, I said that prayer because God gave me a mandate on my life. And he probably gave you one too. You just probably not listening. Everybody want to talk, but don't nobody want to listen. And that is an important skill to have when you're called to help other people. Hence, what this relationship building to grow your business is all about. Because why should we be growing a business? Because God said, make, manage, and multiply. He said, make, manage, and multiply. Create. Reproduce. It's in the Bible. He set us in the garden. Also to care for the ecosystem. He only gave us one thing. Don't touch that tree of life. Don't touch that one. I use the garden as a method because that in the beginning, that's where God set us. but I'm also blessed to have a green thumb. I'm also blessed to be teaching you right now. You better go home and raise some food. You better get some seeds because of what's coming. Right? Right? Because he gave me that prophetic know-how. I ask him for that. Lord Father, let nothing fall under my prophetic radar. So when he told me to get prepared in 2020, I was gardening. I've been learning how to garden since I was here in this North Carolina, Zone 8 with my mama. Because I hadn't gardened before that. But me and my mama would garden together. So learning how to garden is a technique, but he used that. I always go back to what does it say in Genesis? Because baby, we had some hard times from Genesis, from him giving the laws, from him giving the laws in Deuteronomy, Leviticus, Exodus, and all them places, all the way through. You know why? Disobedience. Why would we disobedience? Peer pressure, parent pressure, just disobedient. And we wonder why things happening to us. We can no longer make excuses for what's not regulated or going right in our lives when we know doggone well we did wrong and we ain't asked for nobody for forgiveness. How are you building relationship with your father first? Okay, that needs to be step one. Step one is identifying who you are in him, okay, as his child. Building a relationship with him so that he can give you further instructions. Okay? Now, what was the instructions that God gave to me? Get closer to me, baby girl. Get closer to me. Get closer to me. And you ain't never too late. He put me on assignment. And every time I had a bad thing happen in my life, he would make me the solution. I would have to come up with the solution to solve the problem. It was almost like he was forcing me to be. He was forcing me to be so I can do and so I can have. He was forcing me. And a lot of times we get to a bump in the road and something's happening in our life and we fold. We fold, and instead of standing in the thing and asking the Father to show us how to navigate, we go into anxiety, we go into depression, and yes, it's frustrating because when things are going wrong in your life, it's not easy. But if we would hold on to the hand of the Father and listen to him speaking to us in that moment, he's taking us somewhere. And the reason why these things happened in my life was because of something I did. It wasn't because of something he did. It was never because of anything that he did. And so I don't know how I'm going to do this, God, but you do. And every single problem that I had, he exposed it right in the public. It would happen in the public. It would happen in the public. And he would make my life was like an open book. It was like an open book, whether it was me, whether it was my child, whether it was children, whether it was whatever it was open. You know why? Because he made me a community leader. And as a community leader, I had to, he made my life so that people, when he was delivering me out of it, I had to show up in embarrassment. I had to show up as a mom embarrassed. I had to show up in many ways embarrassed. But a lot of times because of decisions I made or the path I took, something that I was not paying attention to, or maybe I was just being stubborn, because a lot of times I was. Let me just say that. Let me just say that. I was disobedient and I was stubborn. So a lot of things kept happening. He said, the only way I'm going to get you to your purpose is I'm going to have to show you something. All right, that happened. How you gonna fix it? And when you fixing it, I want you to fix it for everybody who gonna have that same problem. If it's your son problem, I need you to go and come up with a solution that's not going to just help you, but help another mother, help your community, because he knew who he was calling me to be. He called me to connect. He called me to activate. He called me to show people how to maximize efficiency in their lives. He called me to show people how to stand in their life and be self-assured. He called me to influence others. But most of the time I was scared. God, how can I go in there and do that? I'm ashamed. Shame comes from who? The devil. Shame, guilt comes from who? The devil, right? Because of a force that entered my life. So he had to take me by the hand. And either I was going to go do it or I was going to be just shame and guilt. I had to stand in my power. And I had to, because other people were going to go through things, and I had to show them that was just a situation. That was just a temporary situation. That's not what God said about you. Okay? It was because of a decision that you made. You had to go through that thing, but it's not what God said about you. And so now I need to show you that you don't have to sit in that place because God's got a plan for you. But will you move on that thing? Will you stand in your identity? Will you stand in who he called you to be? Will you build a relationship with him so you can be used by him? Because what God wanted was, now I need you to testify. I need you to go over there, because you better not take no credit. You better not take no credit for what I did for you. Because it was nobody but God, y'all. Every trial, every situation in my life that I ever made it over was because of God. Man had nothing to do with it. I want you to tell you that man had nothing to do with the freedom that I get to experience today. But it was a whole lot of disobedience going on. And there was a whole lot of stubbornness going on. And let me tell you what 1 Samuel 15:22 and 23 says. That your disobedience is unto witchcraft. I ain't know about no witchcraft. What's that? So now I got to study witchcraft. Okay. Unto witchcraft. And then he says, your stubbornness. It's like iniquities and idolatry. Yo. God be mad. The king be mad, y'all. The king be mad. And y'all he be big mad at y'all decisions. He be big mad at y'all's decision. Let me say our. Because I'm a firm believer of Daniel. Daniel was baby we. Okay. We did that. We. All of us. Even if I didn't do it. We. Isn't it ironic that God turned my business, my whole blueprint into I am we? Can you see God's handwriting all over? It was all over the things that he had me to do because I was prepared to listen. So once I knew my identity, he had me to begin building relationships, whether on the ground, through the things that I was going through. I couldn't sit back and be shame, guilt. The only way I could get through the shame and guilt was to press forward. And let people know, act like you ain't been through nothing. Stop acting like you ain't been through nothing. Because you have. Because we human. And because we make decisions, right? We, not I. We, our, and us. That's what it is about. I am we is about we, our, and us. The power of we, our, and us. It stands solid on Daniel 9. You understand? Innovative approaches to manifest your wealth and excellence. First, understanding your identity and building the relationships to grow the thing that God has called you to do. Father God, I thank you for that epiphany. Even now, God will give you those moments, epiphanies. He will give you clarity. Can y'all see that? Identity. Understanding who you are in Him, building the relationships with Him so that He can help you grow the thing that He's called us to do. I am we. Get rid of I. Get rid of I. Too much I going on. Too much I, me going on. If we truly understood the power of we, our, and us that is mentioned in our Lord's Prayer, we would understand that we will go further together, collectively, under the banner of our Father, understanding who we are solid. So what did God call me to do after that? He said, baby, I know, because I'm like, God, I don't know how to tie this all together. I'm struggling. He was putting the dots together for me. But there was one thing that He wanted me to do that I had not done yet. And this was the main part of the God project, y'all. Now, He done took me through all of those accursed things. He done took me through my teenage years. He saved me. Saved me. He saved me. He gave me mercy, right? He took me through all them years. He blessed my life. He took me through a lot of pain from my families, but it happened, but I'm here. So I made it over. I'm better than my sacrifice. I'm better than whatever was sacrificed. I'm better than that. He took me through my teenage years. He took me through my adult years and all those bad decisions. Okay, he allowed me to be a mother, a wife, a mother, a grandmother. He took me through burden after burden after burden. But it was all so that I could be who I am today. Nothing in my life was wasted. And when I came to the reality that all He wanted me to do was testify, I wrote a book. And let me just give y'all a testimony real quick so y'all clearly understand what happened in my life. He had me I had gotten to a place where I had hit rock bottom with PTSD. I was so scared from the traumas of life. Some people are going through so many things that that all they need is one more thing to trigger them, and they end up in a post-traumatic state. I did because I made everybody business. I was trying to live for everybody. I was wanting more for people than they wanted for themselves, and as a result of that, I was carrying their burdens, and all it did was traumatize me. So as a result of the PTSD, I fell hard. Ended up having a mental health breakdown, taking medication, going to the therapist involuntarily. And so what God showed me was, I want you to I'm going to take you through this. And He did, because fear is not of God, y'all. And I was so scared I couldn't come out the house. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want nobody knocking on my doors. I didn't like police lights. I didn't want my phone to ring. You want to talk about scared? I was just living in fear. Living in fear, y'all. That's not of God. And so He delivered me from that. He took me and brought me closer to my husband, which is where He needed me to be, because I was stubborn. I was dealing with stubborn, which is what? Iniquities and idolatry. I love iniquity and idolatry. Something I was paying more attention to the things in my children than I was to God. Spending more time to wanting and desiring for you hear me? Because sometimes you got to let life happen. Because a lot of times when you rescuing people, you really holding up, you in the way. Sometimes we be in the way because God need to fix some things in them so they don't keep going through life broken, right? But as parents, that's what we sometimes do. We get in the way. We get in the way of what God trying to do, right? And so as I grew in that and got to that place in my life, I had to be delivered from that. And when I did, He had me to write a book. And y'all, this was when my life really took off. I want y'all to pay careful attention. Now, I didn't gone through grad school. I didn't gone through 4 degrees, undergrad, grad school, advanced grad, working in the PhD getting ready to solidify my PhD and hit the deck, okay? Or had I graduated? No, I had graduated. So I'd already graduated my PhD and boom, I hit I hit the deck with PTSD after a lot of trauma, right? So when I realized that fear was not of God, I was also in a community online that I studied online social support. So I was following a lot of leaders who were doing work online, and I was introducing myself over in Periscope because it was my specialty area is telehealth, telemental health, doing, online social support. That was the theory, that was the mission behind my work. It was the thing that was going to be social work without walls. It was going to be giving people greater access to services and support. So my goal was to advance and advance the kingdom through provisions of services in an online environment. So I met my coach and a mentor of mine, and I ended up one of 18 women who wrote an anthology. All of us were from different parts of the world. And that book was called Tear the Veil. And in that book, we were asked to write a story. We had to choose a story. For me, the thing that was sitting with me the most that I was coming through was how I made it through um, in therapy. So I wrote about moments in therapy, and my story was about nothing shall be wasted, and how God utilized when I was sharing my story and wrote that movie, kind of movie genic, like people were sitting in my story because it was, you could see the colors, you could hear the sounds, you could smell things, you could live that thing because I remember how people, and it was only 16 pages, believe it or not. And so many people were like, but what really happened? I said, no, I didn't. The point of the book chapter was not for you to know what happened, because remember, therapy is private. Therapy is private. The lesson you were supposed to learn from that book was in the last pages of the chapter, which was removing the stigma associated with getting help. Because what if I had gotten help all those years that I was going through? We go through stuff and we bottleneck it, bottle up, bottle it, bottle it, bottle it until we go and we get one trigger and we down. Okay. So the point of the story was to remove the stigma associated with the Black community getting the help that they need for the tragedies that we went through. Why? Because we know that in our families, they told us, you better not open that door. You better not tell people what's in our business. What happened in my house, stay in my house. They sweep things under the rug while you being raped, assaulted, drugs, whatever, all of it. They tell you that you're not supposed to talk about that. But all the while, you living with them demons. You living with them demons. You living with incest. You living with all these things, right? And they told you that you can't tell nobody. You shouldn't tell nobody that. How many of y'all out there living with stuff that they told y'all you shouldn't tell nobody? Well, baby, I told a veil. I tore the veil. I tore the veil. You hear me? I tore the veil. And that book took me around the world. When I say I hit 4 of 7 continents on a book tour just because I was one of the writers in that book, my life changed forever. My life changed forever, and God began to use me, use all of my skills, use all of the things that He instilled in me to create um, a mission driven, multi sectoral, research based program that would help leaders like myself who are also needing to heal, who haven't healed, um, to write their own story, to teach you how to revisit, how to be in community, how you can heal in community with others through support. Now so after writing that particular piece and traveling around the world, telling these stories. My first book is sold out. My first on stage event was in front of 2,000 women in Washington, D.C. It's amazing what God will do when you yield your life to Him, y'all. Let me say that again. When you yield your life to the Father, He will do. You let Him do what he gonna do. Now, a lot of people, still scared to do that, right? But I'm sitting in grace. I'm sitting in His grace right now because He knew that my stories would heal people. He knew that as a called one, that I would help them point people back to Him, because that's my job. Ultimately, my job is to be a watchman and to pray and to learn how to eat these scriptures and to give people life, because why? My very name, and let me just be clear about this. My name is Eve Angel. Eve was a breather of life. She was the mother of life. Her very name, Eve, means breather of life. Angel is the messenger. I am a messenger who breathes life into the dreams of others. I need y'all to catch that. When you understand your identity, you can roll in it. And don't you dare to disappoint God. Don't you dare take His credit. You better stand up and tell Him who did it for you, right? Regardless of what society tells you, you go further with God, baby, because He do the promoting than you do with anybody else. Because we were prepared to help those who are going to go through right now to come to God right now, because there's going to be an avalanche of scattered sheep throughout the land who need the word of God, and they need it right now, right? So here's what God told me to do in 2022. After He told me to get prepared, get in that garden. I want you to show them how. I want you to learn how. First of all, you better teach them how to make everything, because baby, it's going to come a time when you can't buy it. You won't be able to buy the lotion. You won't be able to buy the deodorant. Everything is chemically poisoning. So you get to show them how, because I've given you the gift. I've given you the gift as a creator, because you are a creator. I have been a creator since I was a little girl. So when I tell you that God doesn't waste anything in your life, He doesn't waste anything in your life. So not only did He allow me to get the PhD to give you online social support as a writer and an author who has gone through all her life, right? Who can testify to His goodness. But He also made me a creator, someone who is able to utilize her skills to teach you how to make everything you need. Here's how you make the shirt. Here's how you sew. Here's how you cook. Here's how you do all them house things. Domesticate yourself, okay? And get in tune with making things, and definitely get in tune with growing your food, or you're going to starve. Or get poisoned. Y'all already see what's happening with the food. So if you are here, please subscribe to my channel, because that is my channel. You will see me showing you how to live sustainably, okay? And grow your business in an online environment, all right? So I have the next thing He told me to do in 2022. He said, I want there's something I told you to do and you ain't done that part yet. Now, I told that one story about therapy. He said, but no, I need you to go through your life. I need you to sit down, because you still got to denounce some things. You still have to denounce some things. You still got some forgiving to do. You still got some work to do. And what God tells us, do the work, be so you can do and have, right? Be so you can do and have, right? Those are things that we got to be. In order to become, we know we had a hard life. You gotta go back over that life. What did He have me to do in order to prepare for your season of elevation? He had me write this. He had me write this book, right? In writing this book, I give you 5 days. That was my anniversary, y'all. I'm sitting down. God, you want me to do this when? I don't care what it is. Anniversary, December of 2022. I need you to give me 5 days. I give you 5 days. I need you to get to writing. I don't care how many chapters it is, but I need you to get to writing because this is the project. And what did he want me to know about this? So in this book, Preparing for Your Seasons of Elevation, it talks about winters and springs and summers and falls. And he uses it metaphorically to show how seasons pass in your life and how even food grows, right? Everything is in direct alignment with what God called me to do. Let me see if I can get back over here because now I can't see anything. So, can you see how God lined it all up? He lined it all up so that everything was in sweet alignment. It's not hard. It's not hard when you do it with God, okay? So this is what he had me to write, preparing for your season of elevation. And because this is what he wants you to do, guys. If you're out there, this is what God wants you to do. He wants you to prepare for your season of elevation. But how are you going to do that? First of all, you got to get rid of denounce all the poison in your life. You got to go back over your stories. You got to be bold. You're going to have to go back through it, and it's going to be painful. Some of those things are going to hurt. Some of those things are going to hurt. But you have got to go back over the stories. See them through the lens of when they happened, the lived experience. But as you grow in support with other people and believers who love God, you can see it from a different perspective. You can begin to see that he wants you to know about that story because there was something demonic about it that he needs you to denounce. He needs you to get healed so you can make it into the what? Elevation. The word, my 2025, my word for 2025 is elevation. Who is going? Who is getting elevated? Who is ready? Who is prepared to begin to do the work, that hard work? This is hard work. And in this book, because I am transformational, I'm a transformational coach, I share tough stories. I share my tough stories. But I also tell you, you need to do this in support in a group with other people. You don't need to be by yourself holding the bag. You don't need to be by yourself holding the damage. You need to know how to get up out of that dark shit. You need to know that when God tell you to write something, if he tells you to write the story, that he wants to deliver you from it, right? So this was a tool that he wanted me to write. He says, now, in order to leverage what I have put on the inside of you, you got to show people how to do the same thing. And that's the missing link for you. So that in 2022, he had me to write the missing link. And that was the stories and how to help people to analyze their story, their lived experience, and how to use those stories to heal, right? Not to just, sweep them up under the rug, because that's what we were taught to do. Sweep them up under the rug. But baby, you got to expose them demons. Even if you never sell that book, you need to heal. You need to begin to write. But not only do I tell stories, but I give you space to journal in here. I give you, after every chapter, self-reflection and transformation begins here. I not only give you that, but I give you time to, if you need time and you got a tough story, I give you time to do some coloring. Why is the adult coloring is a method of healing, right? And so because I do it, I share it with you. This is one of them. This is one of the butterflies that I actually did. This is one of them. And so when I go out, what I'm going to do with it? I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell it. Why? Because God said it's business. It's his business, right? I'm going to sell it. And so I'm going to auction it off at one of my nonprofit events or one of my vendor events. I am going to auction it off, but not before. I'm just showing you how God is, y'all, because he's sweet. He is so sweet. And I need y'all to understand that he is just amazing. But I need to show y'all something really quickly, what he had me to do before I sell it. He said, before you sell it, I need you to make prints of it, because now you can sell your prints. You not only can sell, I don't want you to sell the original. I want you to sell the prints. You can save that as, things you decorate your exhibit with, because you see that butterfly up there? That's another one right up there. You see it? So I color the butterflies, but because I'm really good, and you will be too, I create them, and then I make postcards, and I use them to send. Like, I send these out. I gave one to somebody at a wedding, and I signed it. Like, I signed my name to it, and I'm able to write little notes. So it's a note card, but it's actually something you can frame. It's not something that you throw away. See, it's a photo paper, so it's beautiful. And so a lot of things, God will open up the doors for you to do some. If you will allow Him, He will open up the doors for you to do some amazing things. So we have a support group that meets every Tuesday, and that's part of why I wanted to share that with y'all. This book, which is going to be in hard copy soon. It's in e copy right now. It also comes, the new e copy, the third edition, comes with a template to begin writing your own book as well, so that you can use the stories, you can use the journal pages, you can use the butterflies, and you can use the template, the book template, to start telling your own story. So yeah, so that's the first step that I take with working with anyone, is being the support that I didn't have. Being the support that I didn't have, because God blessed me to be an educator in group processes. He blessed me to be an authority in the area of community health and human service education. He blessed me to be an authority who is compassionate about humans. He blessed me to be an authority. And so when I tell you that God doesn't waste anything, He doesn't waste anything in your life. But you have to know how to connect the dots, because He wants to use your experiences. He wants to use your stories. He wants to use your talents and your gifts. And if you don't know what those are, I have a 6-week program that's going to be a cohort in January. If you want to get on the wait list for that, put it right here in the chat. I want to be on the wait list. And you're going to learn everything you need to know to go from A to Z, to start a business that utilizes your story, helps you to build relationships with other people, to walk in your identity, to develop your products, to develop your mission-driven business, because you're supposed to solve problems. Businesses solve problems. And you're supposed to solve a problem. Okay? If you want to know more about that cohort that's coming up in January, put I want to know more about the cohort. If you would like the e-version of this book, you can get it. You can get the most updated. But the hard copy, I'm working really hard with my Fiverr people to get the cover completed so that I can get it in hard copy, because it's a 8.5 by 11 and it's a workbook. So I want you to be able to have the butterflies, look what I did with that, y'all. I love it, right? Because I'm a transformational coach. I help you to transform your life God's way. God's way. Not man's way and not your way, but God's way. And so He will have you to do many things. This is the book cover. He's had me to, okay, you want to talk about it? I need you to get the covers. This is another book that I've written called, it's a book series. So as you can see, let me show you how God does things. So as you can see, the podcast is Touch One Life, Touch Millions, because that's the assignment on my life. He gave me my assignment. And God wants to give you your assignment. Okay? And in getting your assignment, remember I told you that he had me to develop a program called I Am We. As you can see, innovative approaches to manifest wealth and excellence. What's the theme? The power of we, our, and us. All biblical, y'all. All biblical. He uses all these things. I am we. We ain't Daniel. We Daniel folks over here, okay? He used the power of my dissertation, how to integrate technology for social support. It's a part of the program, the cohort. So this is but I need y'all to note. I need y'all to notice something. See if you can see it. I want to see if you can see something. So on the journey, he had me to also tell them how you mastered your social proof. Now, I want you to tell me what you see. That's do you see that? When you see it, tell me what you when you see it, write it down. When you see it, write it down. Because there is something unique about all three of these books. I need you to write it down. Okay? I need you to write it down. I need you to write it down. And now I'm coming to answer any questions that you have because we want to keep this live. Lunch is over. I think. How long? Oh, we've been going a minute, y'all. It's 2:46. Okay, so 1:30. Yeah, we are 16 minutes over. So let me see, do y'all have any questions? Because that's what I have today. Y'all, what did we do today? We did identity, relationship building, and God in order to build relationships out here. Because, baby, we ain't doing nothing without him. Anything you do with God anything you don't do with God is not going to last. Anything you do. Hey, Angela. Did you notice anything unique about those book covers? What did you notice? And this is what I teach in my cohort. This is what I teach, but it's more advanced now. I got a whole lot of beautiful things, storytelling, how to come up with your theme, all the things. And I give you the support that you need to do that. But we start with our support group that we have now. That's my lead into anything is you have to be in the support group so I can get to know you, to see if you are a good fit, for advancing to the cohort. So my ebook is available on my website. If you want to go there, click the link in the description of this YouTube and grab yourself a copy. I love how the logo look side by side on the books. Did you see it? Did you see it? I'm telling you, it's there. And what? Check it out. You see how God did that? He is so wonderful, y'all. So the whole thing, the assignment that he put on my life was touch one life, touch millions. And it's on everything. So he had me to start a book series. He had me to start the podcast. So when I tell people one of the things that we have to understand, that a lot of times you will hear people say, pick a thing. And most of us gonna go, well, I can sell more than one thing. Baby, identify yourself, please. Get your identity together. And you can sell anything. Because why? Because your Father wants you to know your identity first. So the verse that I hold dear and near to my heart, you'll see it on my website, in fact, is Ecclesiastes 11:2. And it says, invest in 7, yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land. So I am a professor. I can teach. I am a gardener and can sell, gonna have a whole nursery next year. Gonna sell my seeds, my food. It's gonna be a whole nursery out there. I'm gonna sell flowers because I grow all that stuff, y'all. I am an author. I have books to sell. I have one, two, three books to sell. I have a program that's 1,000 bucks, but baby, you gonna get what you gonna get. You gonna know your identity before you leave there. You gonna know your identity before you leave there, and you're gonna be able to lean into that, right? Some of us are afraid, and like I said, I was afraid for many years. How people gonna look at me? I don't care how you look at me. I'm free. This joy I have, the world didn't give it to me. I'm free. You ever hear that song? I'm free. Praise the Lord. I'm free. No longer bound. No more chains holding me. My soul is resting. It's just a blessing. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. I'm free. That's all I have, y'all. That's all I got today. Build, understand your identity. And let me tell you something. God will give you exactly what you need when you go live. I don't have no script. This unscripted over here. That's when you know it's from God. It's unscripted because you let him lead you, and he will do it every time because he wants your folks to be delivered. Okay? She said, I love how the logo looks side by side on the books. Thank you so much, Dietrich, for coming. Please share the video. Make sure you guys subscribe. And I'm definitely free, Dietrich. Sing it to yourself, Angela. Meditate on it, baby. Meditate on it. Because that's the one. I'm free. If we continue to worry about man going on doing their thing and we stuck. And we stuck. Hey, baby.
Hey, gotta run.
Okay. And my husband free too. We free together. we free. We free together, y'all. He wants to repair individuals. He wants you to be married. He wants to he wants to repair. He wants to repair us to be repairers of the breach. He wants us to do the work, his will. He wants us to stand on firm on the thing that he's called us to do. But you got to develop, you got to understand your identity. You got to understand your identity. And if it became, don't be trying to create. If you don't understand your identity in him, baby, you're going to be delayed. I don't need y'all to be delayed. I need y'all to prepare. Thank you, Invisivibes. I need you to get ready. Get ready for elevation, y'all. Get ready for elevation. If you are here and want to join our support group where we are holding each other accountable, and why? Because it's the power of we, our, and us, and we holding up the arms of each other for accountability. We meet every single Tuesday. One of the things that God wanted me to do this year that was at the top of the year, he instructed me to hold this group. He said, hold it, and I want you to do it all year, and I want you to show up whether you want to or not, because you always aborting things. You got great ideas because I gave them to you, but you keep aborting things. And it was the spirit. It was the spirit of Moloch. Why? Because I've been through that. I've been through that. I had to cast down that demon because it was causing me to abort everything in my life. Everything that God had given me was being aborted because I hadn't dealt with that spirit. Y'all, this is what free look like. This is what I don't care what you think look like. Because I'm what? Free. Praise the Lord. I'm free. And I'm trying to free y'all, okay? So y'all better get free. Y'all going to get free now, okay? Going to get free. Y'all going to get free. I'm trying to see if I answered any questions. Any questions that y'all have, because I can see y'all comments. Any questions today? I'm going to make sure my hand is not in front of that camera. I'm going back through to see if there's any questions. Kelly Gromboski says far right. Oh, okay. Whatever. I'm independent. I'm an independent thinker. I do not allow parties to govern my thoughts. God governs my thoughts. Understand your identity. Y'all letting folk rule y'all. Y'all letting folk run y'all stuff. Y'all letting folk run y'all business. Y'all being ran by the enemy. Not blue because of who, or red because they said. Y'all being ran by the enemy. All of y'all, left and right. y'all being led by the devil. So let me be clear. Get yourself free. How in the world? How in the world you ever gonna be free if you letting government run you? How? Baby, you ain't gonna feed me. The garden gonna feed me though. That thing God said do. Y'all better get with the program. Y'all be coming up in here with your slide comments. But God got something for you. Better get free. That's right. I'm MPA. What's MPA? Nobody's property. What that mean? What that mean, teacher? I know you got something for me. I know you got something for me up here. Teacher, what that mean? Now I'm party affiliated. You better believe it, baby. Cause they being drugged. They being drugged all over the place. They being drugged all over the place. I am a child of the kingdom. You hear me? Baby, can't nothing compete with that. Y'all can go far left, right, baby. I'm standing solid. I'm standing solid on the things of God. And baby, I can't go wrong because that leaf you messing with gonna wither. That thing you messing with gonna wither. You're right. It's crazy. In God's kingdom, the kingdom party. The kingdom party. Party. I didn't know what that meant. I'm MPA too. Absolutely, baby. Y'all gonna have all that mess because what y'all building out here gonna die. They got y'all minds controlled. They got y'all on some stuff that got y'all stuck in the realm of the enemy, stuck in the realm of the enemy. They governing your mind, they governing your thoughts, they governing your money, they governing everything that is you. The ruler of darkness. Them rulers of darkness. Isn't it a mass mind control? Look, I could talk about that all day long. I'm around here, ain't got nothing, damn bit of depression. I ain't got damn bit of anxiety about that election, because baby, that wasn't my election. That wasn't for me to worry about. That was not for me to get hung up in. And that's why you see all these mad people around. They mad men, they hurt, they depressed, they anxiety, they going through things. But no, that's the enemy. Can you not see that is the devil? Just like on the other side, when they went and hit the White House, they hit that White House. The devil made them do that. Right and left. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I've been non-affiliated for years. And I mean years, because baby, I ain't down balloting nobody. If you don't stand for what God stands for, vote for Dr. Eve. I need you to vote for Dr. Eve. Because she's standing for the kingdom. But I had to learn, though, y'all. They gonna learn. They are gonna learn. It takes clarity and understanding and getting the scales off your eyes to see what's happening. My eyes are wide open. I'm like, dang. These people crazy. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to go have lunch for real this time. Listen, Dietrich. Y'all know Dietrich is gonna come on my call. He's gonna be one of the people I'm about to interview because he's a pharmacist, and Dietrich can help y'all get away from all the medicines. Do y'all understand? Do y'all understand? I grow the food. I tell you about how to grow the stuff. Dietrich can tell you what can replace that, what can replace this, and what can replace that. Dietrich, I need you to get on that. You understand? We need to talk before we have that interview because we need to partner up in some things. You send them to me, I pass them back over to you. Or, yeah, you need to be giving out some consults, brother. You need to be giving out some consults on how you can certain medications. You know, you of course, they can listen to their doctor, but those who don't, those who are ready to transition from a box of pharmacy or a walk-in pharmacy to a natural apothecary, that should be that should be a consult that you have. You see, I see things in people that I told y'all, God sent me to be a breather of life, a messenger who breathes life into the people of God. I see things in people that they can't see in themselves. It's a gift. It's a gift. It's my strengths. Connect, activate, maximize, stand in your self-assurance, and go do what God called you to do. I help you to connect the dots. Why? Life, I had to connect some dots, y'all. I had to connect a lot of dots. And I'm a blessed woman of God. And I take absolutely no credit. Absolutely no credit except I learned how to obey. I learned how to stop trying to do it myself. I learned how to not be afraid to tell people about God. I learned how to not tell them deep, dark, sinful, ugly, stinking, filthy places. Because I was called by God in the womb. But I made a lot of mistakes along the way. I'm just grateful that he had mercy to keep me here. But he give out ultimatums. I want you to know that. There's some things he told me if I ever do them again, that I was going to die. He don't play. He's the God. He judges. He don't play, y'all. He don't play about us. And he don't play about what he decree. He don't play. Some of us be out here taking chances. We be taking big chances and gonna get knocked upside the head every single time. He does not play. People taking him for granted. He about to level this place. America's in trouble. He about to level it, and a whole lot of people ain't ready. You ain't ready. Prepare. He sent his daughter to prepare you. Okay? He prepared. Did y'all notice it? Y'all see? He sent his daughter to prepare you for elevation. That's it. That's all I have today, y'all. I love y'all with the love of Christ. I got to get back to these books. I'm doing some taxes, doing my taxes. So got one of my businesses, and it's the worst one of them all. It's not the worst when I say worst, the books. I got behind, and so I got to do this ledger so my husband can file our taxes. You're welcome, Dietrich. I'm here every day, lunchtime, except weekends, unless I want to come. I got something planned that I need y'all to stay on alert for because it's an exciting time. I've made a partnership with an amazing country, and I'll tell y'all more about that as it begins to unfold. We will have our first meeting in December 14th. And so I have a big announcement that's coming. Big announcement that's coming. Again, be led by God, y'all. Be led by God. Just be led by God. All right, y'all. Thank you, Angela, for coming. Angela was a part of our program. Oh, let me tell y'all, if y'all haven't, if you need some items, let me be clear. If y'all need some items for, hold on, y'all. If you need some items for gifts, Angela has a unique ability. She has journals and things that she has created, and she's selling. Angela, if you will drop the link in here, if you will drop your links, she's got some great items. Nice journal covered with black African Americans. Journals, write-in journals. I don't know what else. I think she said journals. I don't have all the specifics. But Angela, if you could drop your link in here. Diedrich, if you can also drop your link in here. Do you have your website up and running? And drop my link in here, y'all. Somebody drop my website in here. My website is in the description, but drop it in the chat as well. www.dreveangelsavage.com. Drop my link in there too, so people can go ahead and connect with our community that comes up every Tuesday. Okay, Angela says she has journals and notebooks. She has a gift shop. Hold on. A gift shop opening in a few days. So Angela, stay on these lives. You better hit these lives because there's billions of people over here on YouTube, and I'm planning on getting on God giving me my fair share. Okay. I'm planning on God's equity, okay, on giving me what to say and giving me equitable distribution over here on YouTube, okay? So that's my expectation. You also have to have expectations of God, okay? Honestly. So do you have the links for your pop-up shop, Angela, already? Because she got one that's already in the pop-up shop. If you need gifts, and I know y'all starting to shop, grab a journal. Put the link in there. Don't wait. There'll be people coming around. If they ain't here yet, they'll be coming. They'll go back to the replay. Also, Diedrich, you said you don't have a website, but I'm on a social media. Okay, Diedrich, we need to get you a website. Just your name. You're a pharmacist. Brother, we need to get you your identity. Didn't I tell y'all about that, though? Didn't I tell y'all to get y'all name? I told y'all to get y'all name. Everybody needs to have a website. Your own name. Please, Diedrich. You are more than any other assignment that he's given you. You are Diedrich. You are Diedrich, who is a pharmacist, Diedrich, who is an investor, and whatever else he want to give to you. But you have reached high heights, and you need to have a website that tells you need to own your name. You need to have a signature, your own signature. Let's talk about that. You need to get a consult, a strategy. You need to buy a strategy. They $240 will be the best strategy you ever had. It's a lot of work, but I can give you a strategy. Tell him, Angela. You're going to be working on it for a long time. You will be working on it for a long time because I brain dump. I brain dump, and I will tie all the things, help you tie things together. Yep. And people say, come to my website, and they're like, well, why do you have, because people be asking me for stuff. I get tired of people asking me for stuff. They ask you for your bio. They ask you for your KDP. They ask you for your Instagram. They ask you for all these things. Here, go get here. It's all up here on this one little website. Just this one little website. Okay? Just this one little website. I don't have to change it much. It gets so much traffic. When I tell y'all it gets so much traffic, this one little website gets so much traffic because I see the traffic on the back end. Because why? I attach it to everything. If you want anything from me, you got to just go to my website. I don't change it very much. It's not supposed to be nothing but information. It's not supposed to be nothing but a resume. It's not supposed to be nothing but how you can reach me. It's about nothing except what I do. Simple, real simple. Connections. Connect, connect, connect. Connect to the newsletter, connect to the community, connect to the strategy session, donate to my nonprofit. You can shop if you want. I got a whole library. You only get access to that is if you are in my membership, which I am working on my membership group because that's big access right there. My library has big access. Tell them, Angela. Everything I use to help me navigate is in my library. I don't go nowhere but to my library. I don't have to keep searching. I might have to update a link or two every now and then, but I'm a PhD. I got my own library. I'm not gonna keep looking for things. Once I find what I want, whatever I need, and it was a good tool, it's going in the library. And you know what else? You better start owning your own stuff. Because if you don't start owning your stuff, y'all, you're gonna be subject to them snatching your social media. That's why we can't talk about certain things because they snatch that, they snatch this, they snatch that, they kick you off, kick you on. You'll never know when they go. You see how they come through the Amazon be down, the this be down, the nothing working this day, something not working that day, and then you might have to catch the sign of the beast just to access it. This mine. Let me say this, y'all better. In more than one ways, I mean what I'm saying. Hear me by the Spirit of the Lord. Hear me by the Spirit of the living God. That y'all better prepare. Because something about to hit this earth. It's already happening. New York on fire. The glaciers are down. The glaciers are so dry now. You do need to do a blog. And you can create one of those too. Connect to a blog. But y'all got to move as far away from being reliant on something that might cause you to have to accept the beast. Gmail. You need your own. I don't give out Gmail no more. It's info@dreveangelsavage.com. It belonged to me. Would they tell me that one day I can't use Gmail except I gotta adopt this or adopt I'm already working on telling everybody who connected to me, this is my email. Please change it in your books. Do I still use it? Yeah, but I'm not dependent on it. So I need y'all to understand that there's a lot of work to be done. Deidre, you know I've been sharing with y'all, getting y'all ready and prepared, but there's a lot of people who are going to be on this live that are not in my Telegram group. Y'all need to prepare. Prepare like there's no tomorrow. I've been telling everybody to prepare. It's been the thing. Prepare. Prepare. I don't want you to be scared. We're not walking in fear. We don't have to walk in fear. We just got to execute. We just have to execute. Okay? All right. So, anyway, I think that's it for today. Angela, I do not see that link. Did you drop the link? Y'all go grab one of them journals from Support My Sister. She trying to develop her business. And if we keep our money in the Black community, we can actually do some things together. Go grab a journal. I'm gonna grab one today, Angela, because I love to buy journals. But I need you to do a Black Friday sale though. A Black Friday special. If you have a Black Friday special, you might be able to sell more of them. You dropped it twice. I don't see it either. Do you see it, Deidre, on that side? Hmm. Well, let me say, what's the link? Can you tell me what the link is? Oh, you can't tell me if you can't write it, huh? You can't write it in here? Wow. You said you just had a 20% off sale? No, you definitely need to do a Black Friday, baby, because let them. She said dropped it 3 times. It may not allow you to drop it in there. It may be spam protected or something. I don't know. We'll work on it. But I'm going to get some and give them as gifts to some people. All right. So if you know somebody on here that would like, oh, she can't share the link. Oh, she said maybe because it's a link. Try putting my link in there and see what happens. www.Dreveangelsavage.com. You put mine in as well? I don't see it. Yeah, they can't. They might don't let you put links in there. It's probably spam protected. It says, "Welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines." I don't know what that means, so I'll have to check on that to see why it doesn't allow you to put links in. But it's in my description. Do you have an affiliates program, Angela? Can you set up an affiliates program where if you sell one, I will get a percentage? Because that's what I try to tell people. I'll promote the heck out of some stuff as an affiliate. Because I have this YouTube channel, so I can use this channel to do paid promotions. I'm expecting God to give me my equitable share of viewers over here on YouTube because I'm white. He my dad. He said, all I need you to do is go tell the truth. I need you to go tell the people. I need you to go heal the people. I need you to go help the people. And if you do it, I'm going to take care of you. So this is what assignment looks like, y'all. It may not even look like much to anybody, but we all got something to say. And if we just be true to ourselves and build relationships, then it becomes a beautiful thing. Because one thing I don't want to do is be anyone else because everybody else is taken. And besides, I'm actually beautiful. And I know that there's somebody who needs to hear the things that I have to say. I'm a seasoned 61-year-old mom, wife, grandmother, baby, there's something over here I can share with you. And I just have to be willing, right? And so we just have to, like, I push my camera. There's no makeup. I got gray hair. I have no makeup on my face. None. Nothing. Completely natural. I put on a little bit of lip gloss, though. Some of this little bees, Burt's, what's it? Oh, let's see. Let's promote Burt's Bees. I need some lip gloss. So if anybody want to sponsor me, any of y'all businesses out there that want to sponsor, let me see what you got. I use all natural products though, so don't send me nothing with no stuff in it that ain't. You can find my P.O. boxes on my website. If you'd like to sponsor one of my videos, you are more than welcome to send me things as long as you are a woman of God. Or if you're a man and have a business and you are a man of God. You can't be fornicating, lying, stealing, infidelity. You can't be none of them things. And I will check you out. You can't be drug using and pushing. You can't be none of those things because I can't have them kind of sponsors. Angela says maybe. She said Let me see what Angela said. You can't be doing none of them things because we the king. We building the kingdom over here. Um, she said, I know yours. No, I don't at this moment. She said, I just started. She said, I can testify that you are who you say you are. Thank you, Angela. I really am, y'all. It's just easier. And plus, I like me, right? All right. All right, guys. See y'all tomorrow at 1. It's supposed to be at 1 o'clock, but today I was late. So I will see y'all tomorrow. I don't know what I'm talking about tomorrow, but I'm sure God gonna give me something when I study his word, okay? So y'all go study the word of God. I encourage you, to pray. Pray over your family. Pray Daniel 9 over your family and over this nation. Remember the power of we, our, and us. And be sure to start your day with the Lord's Prayer and let him usher you into the things that you need to be saying or doing, because it's just a template, y'all. It's a template to begin the process of naming who he is to you, because he's got a gazillion different names, right? Our Father who art in heaven, who is I love, and just so amazing. You know, he got Jehovah Rapha, Jehovah Nisi, Jehovah Rose of Sharon. I don't even know them all. But that's why we have to study, right? To show ourselves approved every day. But begin with that thing called our Father, that prayer that Jesus told us to pray, our Father who art in heaven, because you want to acknowledge him as you want to acknowledge your identity immediately every day, because guess what the devil gonna do? He gonna lie to you all day. He gonna tell you that you nothing, that you ain't never gonna be nothing. He's gonna remind you what your mama said, what your father said, what the bully said, what the people say. He gonna do all kinds of things. He gonna try to give you all kinds of identities during the course of the day, right? Because that's what's his job? Steal, kill, and destroy you. If you don't stand rooted in your identity every single day, the father of lies gonna come and tell you all day. He gonna come and call you. He gonna come tell you all kinds of lies every single day. Okay? I love y'all. I love you with the love of Christ. Go and have the most amazing day. And whatever you do, don't let anyone get in the way on your journey to becoming all the things that God has called you to become. Be so you can do and have. All right? Peace and blessings. Until next time, I'm Dr. Eve.